Hey, so just wanted to give a little bit of a highlight of a client story for a project that we're working on right now. Um, the scenario here is that the client reached out to us. They'd already been going out and like shopping for cabinetry for a kitchen renovation, and then at a certain point thought, you know what, I think we need to be looking at this as as a whole, not just like replacing cabinetry and the kitchen, and saying, what else are we going to do, and start looking at it as like an overall umbrella for the project and like direction for the future of them being in this home. So it's an older home, built in the mid '60s. Really great structure, really beautiful area. They love being there, but definitely time for a change, time for an update. The cabinets are original to the house, so what we set out to do, the kitchen's in like sort of an awkward location, so what we set out to do is develop three options as far as like how we can change the floor plan and layout of the space, and then develop what the elevations of any of those options would look like, so that they can make an educated decision with what direction to go to. And within the conceptual phase, it doesn't mean that we absolutely ended up with the exact plan for the kitchen, but it was just a lot of ideas to discuss and present, so that we could make the decision as far as what direction we do want to go. So we landed on what our favorite option was, and that's kind of like what some of this sampling is alluding to. So started by just kind of developing floor plans. So this is sort of the way that we would make the space look and lay out, and then developing some initial conceptual elevations off of that. So the overall idea here is to just make the kitchen a lot larger and a lot more functional. So we integrated things like a floor-to-ceiling pantry, a little bit of open shelving throughout the cabinetry as well. Not that whole open shelf concept, that's a little too much, but as a detail, it's really nice. And then a larger island. So right now there's no island in their kitchen, and they have just like a table kind of tucked into a corner. So creating a much like a 9-foot island here, so that they have the opportunity for island eating, which is honestly what most people do these days anyways. So we also kind of developed a few different options as far as like direction for overall like materials and schemes within this phase. What we kind of landed on was something in this direction. So overall, just like a nice light sort of oak feeling vinyl flooring. And I really love this one because it's it has like some gray tones worked into it, but overall it's a very like natural tone. So it has like a bit of a yellow to it. The gray flooring thing is just a little too much. So this just keeps it feeling very natural and realistic. And when you're going with a man-made material versus like an actual wood material, I think it's very important to stay within the realm of reality and what would this product actually look like. So then additional components that were worked in here, a quartz countertop with a beautiful marbling. This one I'm a huge fan of, and I look at quite a bit actually. It just has some really nice depth, but it's very subtle. It's not not really aggressive lines going across it, so just keeping it really soft and timeless. And then right now we're kind of looking at options as far as are we going to integrate maybe a bit of this like walnut feel? Perhaps we're doing the island in this caribou butcher block material, which is really cool. And then potential for backsplash options, looking at your classic Calcutta marble kind of look. This one's interesting in a herringbone pattern. Or perhaps we get a little bit more adventurous, and I really love this blue glass 2x8 subway from Elise Edwards. Really, really, really impactful look. And then as sort of like a cool feature to kind of make this a little bit different and not so, typical farmhouse look and style. Looking at introducing black hardware, just to kind of give like a really cool contrast against a lot of these classic elements. And considering the door style as well, so as opposed to doing that like that typical classic shaker, I love a style like this where it is mainly a flat panel door, but with this subtle detail all the way around it. So it just brings a little bit of traditional into that overall like modern concept. So just kind of giving you the best of both worlds, but you know, looking at it in a slightly more interesting way, and then continuing the black hardware through, you know, not only like your handles, but your fixtures as well. So plumbing and lighting fixtures. Yeah, just kind of a fun play on the white kitchen. And then I always like to think about the tie-in. So when we're looking at this kitchen, how do we say, okay, this is our kitchen concept, but let's think of ideas that we can use to, elements that we can put in other spaces in the home to kind of like tie in the whole concept and really think about the space as a whole, which was the ultimate objective anyways. Yeah, so lots of cool like, you know, bringing highlights of blue and just like really interesting, like kind of like soft, mixture of modern and traditional all together. So yeah, that's this project, and we'll let you know how it develops.